Thank you, Mr. Heed, and thank you, students of Killarney Drama class. That was a great way to drive home an important message, and thanks to their teachers, too. One of the most important things we do at ICBC is our focus on road safety, because we know the impact it has, and it saves lives. We're constantly looking for ways to improve safety on our roads by working closely with our customers, our partners, stakeholders, police, and government. It means so much to us that we invest nearly $50 million a year in road safety and auto crime prevention. One of our biggest commitments is our focus on new drivers. We work hard, hand in hand with them, so they develop safe, lifelong driving practices. We put a big focus on new drivers for a reason. We know, unfortunately, that new drivers are more prone to crash due to their lack of experience, and often those crashes can be serious. In fact, we know that many new drivers in BC were involved in a crash in their first 2 years on the road. That's a distressing number, and one we were committed to improving. That's why in 1998, government and ICBC introduced the graduated licensing program. It's a multi-stage approach to driver licensing designed to give new drivers time to gain the skills and experience they need in a more controlled, lower-risk environment. In its first 3 years alone, the program successfully reduced the new driver crash rate by 16%. But we didn't stop there. Over the years, we've continued to look for ways to improve the program. As Mr. Heed explained, we made several main enhancements to the program in 2003, and the number of crashes involving new drivers once again decreased dramatically. Those numbers are worth repeating. 17,500 fewer crashes involving new drivers, 4,000 fewer injuries, and 31 lives saved. Think about those numbers. At least 4,000 fewer injuries. That's the size of a small town. And 31 lives saved, it's the size of an average classroom. To us, it's clear that the graduated licensing program has helped clear the road ahead for new drivers to make smart, safe driving decisions. When drivers make smart choices, they do more than just protect themselves and others from injuries, or even worse. They also protect the affordability of their insurance. Fewer crashes mean lower claims costs, and those savings help us to keep rates low and stable. In 2009, we once again lowered our optional insurance rates by an average of 3% and kept basic rates unchanged overall. All British Columbians are sharing in the success of this program. We need to thank new drivers for making smart driving choices and thank those involved in keeping them safe, including their parents, who help their kids practice and mentor them to make good driving decisions. There are the driver training schools that provide expert instruction, and other road users who show patience and consideration for new drivers. It's all of these people who've made a difference on our roads, helping to prevent injuries and to save lives. I'd now like to introduce Gary McBride, a father who was instrumental in helping us make changes to the graduated licensing program and who has a powerful story to share with you. Gary?
Thanks, Fred. Good morning. I'd just like to say first what a wonderful, powerful presentation by students. They're your future, and they always marvel me at what they can do. You may wonder why I am here, and it is about a devastating crash, and it happened on a spring break afternoon, 2002, 7 years ago. Happened in Ladner, which is a small community in Delta. It was a sunny day, 1:30 in the afternoon. My wife and I got a call from a frantic friend of Spencer's, our son, saying there had been a bad crash at Deltaport. Do you know where Spencer was? Well, we knew he was out with his friends. Well, 2 unimaginable hours later, a very solemn Delta police officer walked into our house and said 4 words. I felt so sorry for him. Simply, your son is dead. Not like the movies, your son is dead. And he said the same message to 3 other families. So it wasn't just Spencer. Spencer, Reese, Kevin, and Michael, 4 boys, killed when the driver, who did survive the crash, ran a stop sign and they were hit by a semi-trailer truck. 2 of the boys were in grade 10, 2 were in grade 11. And you can only imagine, I can ask the kids to imagine what it was like for to arrive the next Monday morning after spring break and their 4 friends weren't there. It devastated the community of Ladner. Spencer's death changed our lives forever, and it would take me hours to tell you how it impacted us, our families, Spencer's older brother, grandmothers, grandfathers. It's a trauma, it's a pain, something you never, ever, ever get over. But did the driver set out that day to cause a crash? No, he didn't. But he was inexperienced. He had his license for 2 weeks. He was 16. After Spencer's death, I happened to catch an article on the GLP and saw that it was there, but it needed some changes. And along with Mike Marshall, who was Reese's dad, we presented a paper to the former Solicitor General Rich Coleman. And along with ICBC, they made some changes, which you can hear came into play. Kids, it allows you to learn to drive. I can only say, when you're in a car full of kids, it was a huge distraction, and that might have been the problem. You can see by the kids here today, 31 people have been saved. 31 parents have not had to endure what we've had to endure. I would implore all of the kids, please take your opportunity to learn to drive socially and responsibly. It's your lives. As Kash Heed has said, the world is out there for you to explore. And Spencer and the 4 other boys and other boys at your age, they didn't get to enjoy life. They didn't get to graduate. They didn't have friends that they could hang around with. They didn't get to travel like his brother has. And we don't celebrate holidays the same way we do anymore. Losing a child in a car crash is preventable, especially they're preventable. We miss our son every day, as you can imagine, and we hope that your parents never have to endure what we've had to, along with other parents. And I just thank ICBC and everyone for what they're doing, and if more drivers, not just young folks, could take a better care on what they're doing on the roads, will save lives. Thank you for allowing me to speak.